Why did Canada place its capital so close to the United States border? Canada's capital, Ottawa, lies just about 100 kilometers from the United States border. But here's a question that might seem odd at first glance. Why would Canada put its capital so close to a country it was once at war with? Especially when we go back to the early 1800s, relations between the United States and British-controlled Canada were far from friendly. During the War of 1812, British and Canadian troops actually invaded the United States, captured Washington, D.C., and set the White House on fire. Yeah, that happened. So, after all that chaos, you'd think Canada would have placed its capital far away from the border. Maybe somewhere safer. Somewhere deeper into Canadian territory. But they didn't. And here's why. Reason number 1, geography made the choice limited. Northern Canada is, well, brutal. It's cold, remote, and largely uninhabitable for most of the year. Back in the 1800s, no modern heating, no air travel, that meant cities naturally grew along the southern edge of the country, right near the United States border. That's where the rivers, railroads, and trade routes were. In other words, if you wanted to build a major city, it had to be near the border. And Ottawa, situated between the growing cities of Toronto and Montreal, made geographic sense. But that's only part of the story. Reason number 2, keeping the peace inside Canada. Here's the deeper, and much more important, reason Ottawa was chosen: national unity. In the 19th century, Canada wasn't one unified nation, it was a patchwork of colonies with very different identities. The biggest tension? English-speaking Ontario versus French-speaking Quebec. Quebec, formerly a French colony, had a distinct culture, language, and religion. And more than once, it flirted with the idea of independence. The British, and later, Canadian leaders, knew they had to keep Quebec in the fold. And one way to do that? Put the capital close enough to Quebec to show it mattered. Ottawa sits right on the border between Ontario and Quebec. It's a bilingual city, English and French. It was a symbolic choice, a compromise. We're not picking sides. This is everyone's capital. And it worked. Choosing Ottawa helped hold the country together, not just politically, but emotionally. So, why so close to the United States? It turns out, the capital's location wasn't about keeping it far from enemies. It was about keeping it close to Canadians. Ottawa may be near the United States, but more importantly, it's near the heart of Canada's population, its trade routes, and its two founding cultures. And that's why, even after conflict, war, and political tension, Ottawa was, and still is, the logical capital of Canada.